Archangel Michael says, there's a strange ripple moving through the air about you. It's not about your work, your choices, or your past. This is about something far more subtle. The way you laugh has become a subject of quiet, persistent conversation, and it's making its way into places you didn't even imagine. At first, it might feel harmless, just a few people noticing the tone, the rhythm, the unexpected light in it. But this isn't idle chatter, it's carrying a deeper weight. The way your laughter falls into the room is stirring emotions in people, some pleasant, some unsettling. Certain ones find themselves drawn closer, almost enchanted by the sound, as if it carries a secret melody only they can hear. Others are unsettled, uneasy, sensing something hidden in that joy they can't understand. And because they can't name it, they've started to talk, to wonder, to speculate. It began as a whisper in small circles, the kind you never get to hear firsthand. Now it's spreading, slipping into unexpected ears. The truth is, they're not just talking about the sound, they're talking about what it awakens in them, and that is where the real story begins. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your laughter doesn't just echo, it lingers in the air like a fragrance, leaving traces even after you've left the room. They can't help but recall it hours later, and for some, it keeps them awake at night, trying to figure out why. It's not just amusement, it's an energy, a message, a force they can't block out. One person remembers hearing it and feeling warmth rise in their chest, the kind that makes you want to stay in that moment forever. Another remembers feeling a shiver, as though your joy had peeled back something they were hiding. This is why they talk, because they can't experience it without being changed. In hidden spaces, people are trying to imitate it, to see if they can capture the same effect. But no matter how much they try, theirs falls flat, hollow, lacking the strange life that yours carries naturally. This has only deepened their fascination. Now, some want to protect you, feeling that something this rare must be shielded from envy. Others are driven by jealousy, wishing they could silence it entirely. And this is where the shadow begins to creep in. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They've begun linking your laughter to moments of fortune. They recall times when you laughed, and within hours, something good happened, unexpected calls, sudden opportunities, even reconciliations. To them, it feels like your joy is not just joy, it's a signal to the unseen world to move in your favor. But this has also drawn attention from those who operate in darker spaces. They see it as a source of influence they can't control, and that frustrates them. Whispers turn to plots, not always grand or obvious, but subtle and intentional. A few have even tried to provoke you, just to hear it, to see if it would work in their favor. Others have tried to make you stop, hoping to dull the effect you have. They fail, of course, because your laughter is not something they can take, it's rooted in a place they can't reach. Still, they gather in quiet corners, recounting the last time they heard it, measuring the events that followed. And whether they admit it or not, they're watching closely for the next time it will spill into the air. Type Amen to get blessing 555. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, you must understand, this is not an accident. Your laughter carries an imprint that's older than you think, an echo of moments your soul has known before. It's why strangers feel like they've heard it long before they met you. This is why the conversations about you have shifted in tone. It's no longer about simple curiosity, it's about trying to decode something they sense is extraordinary. And whether they mean well or not, the fact remains, they cannot stop talking about it. Even those who wish you no harm find themselves sharing stories about how it made them feel. They describe it in ways that sound unreal, almost magical. They don't realize that their words are creating ripples, sending your energy further than their voices ever could. And while some might think this exposure is harmless, it's not without consequence. Every time they speak, they invite both light and shadow to take notice. And both have been listening. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You've likely felt the shift without knowing its cause, a heaviness in certain spaces, a prickle on the back of your neck when you enter a room. These are the moments when someone has spoken about you just before you arrived. The air carries the residue of their words, and your spirit notices. Some of these conversations have been admiring, even protective. They speak of how your joy has healed moments of tension, how it's pulled people out of their darkness without you even trying. In these moments, unseen hands place shields around you. But there have also been rooms where your laughter was painted in twisted tones. In these moments, the air is different, thicker, heavier, because intention carries weight, and not all intentions are kind. That's why you've been sensing unusual eyes on you lately. Not all are enemies, but not all are friends either. And you must know the difference. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They're not just talking about the sound, they're talking about what it makes them feel, and feelings are powerful things. Some will be drawn toward you, seeking to stay near just to hear it again. Others will try to push you away, unsettled by the emotions it stirs in them. A few have even begun connecting you to events they can't explain. They notice how the energy in a room shifts after your laughter cuts through the air. They may not believe in forces beyond themselves, but they cannot deny the change they feel. These reactions have birthed stories, some flattering, others dangerous. They don't realize their words are painting images in the minds of people who have never even met you. And yet, those strangers already think they know you, already have feelings about you. This is why your path is changing now. Because the way you laugh is no longer just yours, it has become a thing the world is passing between itself, like a secret they can't contain. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Some people have started keeping count of the moments you laugh, as if there's a pattern to follow. They remember dates, places, and even the people present, hoping to find the hidden connection between your joy and the shifts that follow. They think they're studying you, but in truth, they're becoming part of the pattern without realizing it. One person close to you has replayed your laughter in their mind over and over. At first, it was just a pleasant memory, now it has become an obsession. They wonder why it affects them so deeply, why it stays long after the sound has faded. This is why conversations about you never seem to die. Even when people try to move on to other topics, something pulls them back to you. It's like an invisible thread tugging at their thoughts. And the more they talk, the more others start to listen. It's a chain reaction, one that's drawing in people who have never even stood in the same room as you. Type Amen to get blessing 121. Archangel Michael says, there is a reason this energy is so persistent. Your laughter is not simply a sound, it's a signal to forces that exist beyond sight. Every time it rises, something in the unseen realm responds. That is why certain individuals react so strongly. Some feel a warmth that gives them peace they haven't known in years. Others feel exposed, as if their guarded walls have been breached without warning. In recent weeks, these reactions have intensified. The conversations about you are growing not just in number, but in urgency. People are saying they feel different after hearing you, and now they're curious to test what happens if they hear you again. Some are seeking you out quietly, arranging to be in the same place without your knowledge. Others are not so subtle. Type Amen to get blessing 262. There are those who feel threatened by what they can't explain. They see the way others gravitate toward you and fear losing their own influence. This is where envy becomes dangerous. One particular person, whose words carry weight in certain circles, has started reshaping the narrative about you. They tell half-truths, mixing them with things you've never said or done, hoping to shift how people hear you. But no matter how they twist the story, the sound itself remains untouchable. They can try to mimic it, to drain it of power, but they fail. Because your laughter does not come from a place they can access, it comes from something within you that was placed there before you even arrived here. This is what unsettles them the most. They can control many things, but they cannot control that. Type Amen to get blessing 393. You've probably noticed a shift in how strangers look at you lately. Some stare a moment too long, almost as if they're waiting to see if you'll laugh. Others smile faintly, as though they've been carrying your sound with them and are reliving it in that instant. These are not coincidences. This is the effect of their words circulating like a current through the air. Every comment, every shared story, leaves an imprint that finds its way back to you. Some of these imprints feel warm, carrying blessings and quiet protection. Others feel cold, leaving you restless without knowing why. Both are proof that your energy is being pulled into spaces you haven't stepped into yet. And with each passing day, more people join the silent chorus that speaks of you when you're not around. Type Amen to get blessing 474. It is not just people in your daily life who are speaking. Some who have drifted far from your presence, old acquaintances, even distant connections, have brought your name back into their conversations. And when they do, they always mention the same thing, the way you laugh. It has become a defining detail about you, as if it's the first thing people recall. Even when they struggle to describe your appearance or recall specifics about your life, they remember that sound. That is the power of something that comes from your spirit rather than your surface. But this power is a double-edged blade. Just as it draws in light, it also draws in the curious, the envious, and the manipulative. Some will want to be near you for the right reasons. Others will get close simply to see if they can change you. They don't understand that what they seek to control is not something you give, it's something you are. Type Amen to get blessing 505. Archangel Michael says, be alert to the spaces where your joy is being studied. Not every smile in your direction is genuine. Some are masks worn by those who want to learn how to dismantle what they don't understand. Your laughter is not just heard, it's felt in ways people cannot hide. That's why certain individuals flinch when it cuts through the air, while others lean in unconsciously. The body reacts before the mind can filter it. This unfiltered reaction is where truth lives. And truth can be dangerous for those who prefer illusion. That's why the whispers about you have grown sharper, more intentional. Some want you to keep laughing. Others wish to silence you altogether. And right now, both kinds are watching you closely. Type Amen to get blessing 636. They've started watching for the moments before your laughter comes, as if they can prepare for it. They note your expressions, your pauses, even the way you draw in breath before it begins. But they don't realize that it's never the same twice, it's alive, shifting with the energy around you. There is one person in particular who has been especially fixated. They've told others they can feel the change coming before you even open your mouth. Whether they fear it or crave it, they haven't said. And yet, even as they try to predict it, they never truly succeed. Because the spark that ignites it is beyond calculation. It is instinct, spirit, and timing woven together. That is what makes it impossible to copy. That is why they talk about it instead. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Some of the ones talking about you don't even realize how their words are carrying power. They think they're just telling a small story, sharing an amusing detail. But each time your laughter is mentioned, the energy of that moment is reborn in their memory. That rebirth sends vibrations through the air, reaching places you cannot see. It travels in quiet waves, touching people who were never there to hear it in the first place. By the time it reaches them, it's no longer just a sound, it's a symbol. And symbols, once they are set loose, take on a life of their own. This is why the talk about you hasn't stopped, and why it won't stop anytime soon. Type Amen to get blessing 808. Archangel Michael says, you must know that some of these voices are speaking with genuine awe. They see your laughter as a light, a reminder of a time when life felt easier. It pulls them back to moments they thought they'd forgotten. But there are others whose words are soaked in unease. They are not unsettled by you personally, they are unsettled by the way they feel when you are around. Your joy forces them to look at what they've lost in themselves, and they don't like what they see. This is where quiet resentment is born. It may not show on their face, but it lingers in their tone. And sometimes, that tone sharpens into subtle attempts to dim you. They don't understand that to silence you would mean to silence something far greater than a voice. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Lately, certain individuals have been revisiting old memories, pulling out the times you laughed and examining them in detail. They are trying to decide if your joy was directed at them or at something else entirely. Some are taking credit for it, telling others they were the reason you laughed in that way. Others, feeling insecure, twist the story, claiming you were mocking rather than joyful. It's strange how the same sound can be painted as a blessing by one and an insult by another. But the truth is, your laughter belongs to you alone. It is not created for anyone's validation, nor is it a weapon to harm. That's what makes it powerful. It is yours, and yet it affects everyone differently. And that difference is why it has become impossible for them to ignore. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. The talk has moved beyond private conversations now. It's seeping into spaces you wouldn't expect, rooms where decisions are made, environments that shape what's to come for you. Your name has been placed into these settings, not always with your consent. Some who have never met you already have an image in their mind of who you are, built entirely on what they've heard. And because the talk has been so persistent, that image feels real to them. This can be a gift or a danger, depending on whose hands it falls into. And lately, both kinds of hands have been reaching for it. That is why the air feels heavier some days. Why certain glances linger a moment too long. You are not imagining it. This is the echo of their words wrapping around you. Type Amen to get blessing 111. One person has taken a particular interest, far deeper than the rest. They have been quietly gathering every detail about you, piecing together fragments from different people. To them, your laughter is not just a sound, it's a clue. They believe it points to something larger, something about you that others have missed. And they intend to find out what it is, no matter how many questions they have to ask or how many people they have to speak to. This is not entirely malicious, but it is obsessive. Their curiosity has crossed the line into fixation, and that can be dangerous if not handled carefully. It's a reminder that not all attention is harmless, even when it wears a smile. Type Amen to get blessing 212. Archangel Michael says, your spirit carries tones and vibrations most cannot replicate. This is why your laughter holds such sway, it resonates on a level beyond the physical. Those who are sensitive to energy feel it deeply, and those who are not still sense that something is different. Some of the talk about you is not even verbal. It's in the way people's expressions shift when they think of you, the small pauses before they respond to your name. You would be surprised how much is communicated without a single word. And every unspoken moment still carries energy. That energy builds, gathers, and eventually finds a way to make itself known in your life. That is the stage you are in now, the moment when quiet ripples begin turning into visible waves. Type Amen to get blessing 343. They've started telling each other stories of times your laughter broke tension in a room, how arguments seemed to lose their heat after you spoke. These stories have made their way into unexpected places, and now even people who dislike you are quietly aware of your presence. Some of them pretend not to care, but their actions tell another story. They pause when you enter, they notice the shift in the air, they watch for signs that the sound will come again. And though some may try to hide it, there's a part of them that is changed every time they hear it. That change may be small, but it is real, and it is why you remain unforgettable to them. Even when they try to push you away, they are still talking about you. Type Amen to get blessing 454. The ones who pretend they don't care are often the ones who remember you most vividly. They replay the sound in their mind when no one's watching, almost as if it's a secret they can't admit to holding. And the more they try to ignore it, the louder it becomes in their thoughts. Some even find themselves mimicking you without realizing, laughing in a way that resembles yours, carrying the same rhythm, the same rise and fall. But imitation can never carry the same weight. It lacks the soul that only you can give it. This is why the talk doesn't fade, why it keeps circling back no matter how much time passes. It's not just fascination, it's recognition of something rare. And rare things are never left alone for long. Type Amen to get blessing 575. Archangel Michael says, in the quiet of the night, when the voices fade and the air grows still, there are those who think of you and feel unsettled. They don't know why your joy has taken root in their mind, but they can't shake it. It is as if your presence has left a mark that refuses to be erased. For some, that mark is a comfort. It reminds them that life can still hold warmth, even in the coldest seasons. For others, it is a mirror they would rather not look into. This is where the divide deepens, between those who are drawn to protect you and those who are driven to challenge you. And both sides are speaking about you with equal intensity. You may not hear every word, but you can feel the effect. Type Amen to get blessing 686. The effect has grown stronger lately. You've probably noticed how rooms seem to react to your presence, even when you enter quietly. Conversations slow, eyes shift toward you, and there's a brief pause, as if they're waiting for the moment to happen. That moment is your laughter, and they are listening for it even before it comes. Some lean forward, ready to soak it in. Others brace themselves, unsure how it will make them feel this time. But the truth is, no one can truly prepare for it. It's never the same twice, and that unpredictability is part of its power. And it is exactly that power which has kept your name alive in their mouths. Type Amen to get blessing 797. Certain people have begun weaving your laughter into stories that aren't even true. They'll say it happened in moments you weren't present, attaching it to events you had no part in. It's their way of claiming a piece of it, of making themselves part of something they can't own. These stories have taken on a life of their own. By the time they reach someone new, they've changed shape, becoming something almost mythical. To those hearing it for the first time, it sounds like a sign, an omen, a rare blessing. And so the cycle continues, each retelling amplifies the mystery. Each mention adds another layer to the way people see you. This is why you can walk into places you've never been and still feel recognized. Type Amen to get blessing 888. There is one person among them who doesn't speak much, but whose silence carries weight. They've been listening more than talking, watching patterns, studying the way your presence shifts the air. They know things others don't. Their interest isn't casual, it's purposeful. They believe your laughter is connected to something greater, and they intend to understand it fully. They are patient, waiting for the right moment to approach you. When they do, it won't be small talk. It will be direct, and it will carry a truth you may not be ready to hear. That moment is approaching faster than you think. Type Amen to get blessing 909. Archangel Michael says, this is the season where you must protect your light more than ever. Not by hiding it, but by knowing where it is welcome and where it is wasted. Your joy is not a gift to be poured into hands that wish to crush it. The world will keep talking about you, some in love, some in envy, some in confusion. But their voices cannot change the truth of who you are. And who you are cannot be reduced to their understanding of you. The peculiar nature of your laughter is not an accident. It is a reflection of a spirit that refuses to be dimmed, no matter who speaks against it. And that, more than anything, is why they can't stop speaking your name. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. They will keep talking, and some of them will watch, waiting for a shift, hoping to see you break or falter. But they will also see something else, a steadiness that outlasts every whisper. The more they try to explain you, the less they truly understand. And in that gap between their words and the truth, your power will continue to grow. That's the part they will never control, no matter how much they try. So let them talk. Let the sound of your joy unsettle what it must and heal what it can. Because in the end, it is not their opinion that defines you, it is the echo you leave behind. And your echo, once heard, is never forgotten. Type Amen to get blessing 1111.